And hello, what's up, guys, and welcome to this AMA. Now, I haven't really done one of these before, especially not a live one, so thank you so much to everyone that is joining us for this AMA. I've done something similar before. That was pre-recorded, and that was about a year ago, so it's all very, very out of date. So essentially, the way this is going to work is that there will be, it's a 45-minute session. Any longer than that, and then obviously it's a bit too long. Shorter than that, won't have time to get through everything. So the way I think I'm going to do it is the first sort of 20, 25 minutes or so. I've got a load of questions that you guys have sent in, which I'm very grateful for you guys for actually doing that. And so we'll be going through some of that. And then obviously we've got a live chat, so all of you guys will actually be able to let me know if you have any questions and what those questions are, and I will be able to answer them and do the best I can to answer them. The usual thing applies of I just need to get some social media links out, which of course I've forgotten to do as always. And then we'll just go through a little bit of background just about me and about the channel, and then we'll get cracking with the questions. So let's just get us the link right now. Bear with us to my 0 viewers. That is happening right now. Turn that off, otherwise I will be able to get some echo. I may as well actually start the talking while I can do this. I do have the ability to multitask. So anyway, once again, thank you so much for joining us. My name, if you don't know, is not actually PC Centric. I don't write PC Centric whenever I'm signing something. My name is Marcus, and I've been in PC stuff pretty much all my life. And here's the thing, I don't ever say I am the best at PC stuff ever in the world. I'm not sitting here telling anyone that I am better than you at this. That's not what this channel is. This is about getting people into PC gaming, getting people into technology, getting people into all of this stuff while going into the sort of like the right amount of detail. Now, I've said it before and I've said it again. The thing that kind of annoyed me and was the main reason for me to actually start, to be honest, this whole channel, was just that I didn't like going to a website. We're not going to mention any names here. I didn't like going to a website and then finding that it was really gaming orientated, which is great. It would have all these news articles, some of which were pretty irrelevant, some were pretty relevant. But then stuff like the PC side of things would get completely neglected, other than the odd article that would say, oh, this doesn't really work. There'd be no sort of optimization guide. There'd be no going through the best components for you to get. And it was almost like very, very console centric, and it didn't seem to care particularly about PC stuff, which was very annoying and meant that I had to go to other places to then get all the information I wanted. And then on the flip side of that, you have all these places that will go through, really good, really in depth, all these graphics card reviews that go through temperatures, noise, performance, driver specs, everything you could ever want. And that's great, but it's not really suitable for a lot of stuff. I mean, the way I try and do videos when I do reviews, I don't necessarily do it in the way that is going to be the most watchable. And that might sound a bit weird. So, for example, if you care about a product, I want you to be able to get all the information that you would want about that product. And if that means that the video is over 10 minutes long, that's how long it's got to be. Most reviews are under 10 minutes that I've seen on other channels, other publications, and they're very good and they're very in detail. And I'm sure that in some ways they're better at conveying information in a smaller amount of time. But I guess my idea really is that if you want to know about a product and you want to buy a product, then really you want to know as much as you can about it. So I will give you as much as I can. And that's just essentially what I try to do. And I try to give you all the information you want to know without giving you the stuff you don't. So going back to when I was talking about the websites that don't give you enough information, I try and make sure I cover everything and give everything a chance to shine without going into minute detail that people might not want to know. So it's kind of for everybody as such. Okay, so I've said this, but there wasn't anyone watching at the time. This is essentially going to be what's with the 47 hours? What are you on about? What's in 47 hours? Oh, that's old comments. My bad. Old comments. Yeah, if you just joined us, essentially there's going to be about 20 minutes of well, not pre-done, but questions that have been asked, and then I'll move on to questions in the chat. Okay. So without further ado, let's actually crack on with some questions. I'll go through the emails first. So thank you to everyone that sent in an email. There was actually quite a lot of you. Did you play Binding of Isaac Rebirth? No, actually, I didn't. I'm not really sure why. Probably just it was a busy time. Oh, there you go. Next question. If not, why not? It's one of many games that I need to get around to doing. And here's the thing. As soon as you start doing stuff like this, and I know this is something everybody says, literally everyone says that starts doing videos and things like that, you suddenly realize you have a lot less time. And bear in mind, I work 9 till 5 every single day. And I spend, a good, 2.5 to 2/3 of a day on a video a weekend. That gives me just over a day and a bit of dedicated free time. It's not very much. So that's probably why. If I didn't have time, why not do a casual play on it? Might well happen. It's just, again, one of those things I've got to get around to doing. And then he asked, also, have you had any male, and then he's put any female, he's put /male relationships in the 2 years. Nothing really that serious, to be honest. Sadly, not gay. I just want to put that out there now. Probably I'm one of the campest people you'll meet. But no, not gay. As there were some quite amusing comments a couple of months back that was actually really funny, where people were just having this detailed discussion about my sexuality, and then one girl piped up as if she knew me and explained to everyone that I'm not gay, silly, I'm bisexual. Not really sure where you got that information from, but yeah, that's not accurate. So nothing serious at the moment, but yeah, we'll see. I always say, well, always. It's not I always. It was quite amusing. I was talking to some of my bit more nerdy sort of friendship group. We were just saying how I would describe things as threads. So you have threads, but no active processes. You have threads running. I'm not a hyper-threaded processor, so I don't have multiple things going at the same time. But multiple threads open at the same time. It's the way I would describe that. I know it's terrible. Okay, I need to pick up the pace. Right, Ryan Wiley. I'm assuming that's how you say it. He has sent me. Oh yes, he's basically it's a very long question, but he's essentially saying, should I go for? I don't know why. He said, should I go for a GTX 970 or a GTX Titan X? Quite different things, but there's two graphics cards in the middle. I've noticed there's a few different questions about different components, and we'll focus for now just on NVIDIA cards. We'll talk about an AMD maybe a bit later, but essentially the smart money goes for the 970 just because its price for performance is very, very good while still being a high performance card. Titan X isn't really for gamers. It's for the people that need the precision or literally just have money to burn, because you could pretty much get 2 times the performance maybe out of having two 980 Ti's rather than one Titan. Pretty close to it anyway, for similar money. So essentially, I think at the moment the smart money goes for the 970. The high-end people probably will go for the 980 Ti, and then if you slot in somewhere else, you go for a slightly different one. The GTX 980 is going to be good for you. So that's the card I've got. A GTX 980 is still a very, very good card. It's just a little bit outshined at either end. So unless it gets a bit cheaper, it might not be the right thing to do. So I'm sorry, Ryan, I didn't have all the time to look at your question. I will probably have a look at that properly and reply to you later. Dermot, you won't be able to tune in live. Well, let's not answer his question then. I'm joking. You won't be able to tune in live, sorry. But he says, anyway, after building my PC for 30 years, I have my very first water-cooled build, which I call my geeky midlife crisis. It has a GTX 980 Hydro Copper overclocked, and I've been using my current Samsung SyncMaster P2770 monitor with it, which I'm looking to upgrade. While I am intrigued by G-Sync and 4K monitors in general, I am torn. I don't know if I should look to the Asus ROG Swift or the Acer XV270HU, which is the 144Hz IPS one from Acer, as the monitor to upgrade to. Both have advantages, both have disadvantages. I'm simply in a I don't know what that's meant to say. He's in a fix. Maybe that's just my vocabulary is not very good. I do game a bit, but the system is used more for general usage than anything demanding, just because of how I use it for work, etc. So my question is, which of these monitors should I get, or is there a better alternative that my ancient searching skills haven't found, or should I wait for the next wave of G-Sync monitors to bring the price down? Okay, well, let's get the monitor. This will affect anyone that wants to know generally about monitors. Essentially, this is a very good time to buy a monitor because you've got a load of choice, but it's also a very bad time to buy a monitor because you've got a load more choice coming out very soon. Quick and easy answer is you sound like you're in a similar position to me. What I'm going to do, I have the luxury of getting to see a lot of monitors, obviously, before I buy them, which is why it's very important for me to give accurate reviews to you guys so you can make informed buying decisions. Now, assuming it's good, I am going to probably get one 4K G-Sync IPS and then one 1440p 144Hz IPS monitor. That way you get the best of both worlds. And that's because I'd like the best of both worlds. That's because I want to do some photography and I want to also play games like Battlefield, for things like that at high refresh rate. If you are someone that wants to be playing a lot of first-person shooters, I'd recommend going down the ROG Swift sort of route. But I would probably say probably worth waiting for you to check out their next IPS variant, which is coming out later this year. Even if you're not interested in IPS, the TN one will become a lot cheaper. And generally, yeah, I think if you are in the market for a monitor and you're not after one of these curved ones, or you're not after that big 40-inch 4K Philips one, you may well be worth waiting a bit until the end, like sort of the end of the year, unless you really need one. Just because I think you're going to have more choice. So thank you, Demet, for sending that one in. Demetrios came in. What does AMA stand for? Well, it says it in the description, doesn't it? Was that your only thing you sent in? Is that it? That's a waste of everyone's time. Thank you for sending an email in, though. Ricardo, what kind of chair do you recommend? I'm considering buying one of those gaming chairs. Are they worth it? Do you know anything about programming? Well, we'll answer the first bit first. Gaming chairs, that really is something you're going to, if you can, sit in it. Now, the one I'm using is just one from IKEA. And the reason for that is because I got a chance to go to IKEA and sit in it and just decide it was comfortable. So, you know, it's impossible for me to recommend a chair because there are so many. Just my main advice, you know, I mean, I've said this for a lot of things like mice and keyboard, but for something that you're going to be sitting in, please go and just don't order one. Go and actually find one because everyone is slightly different. Everyone's back's different and things like that. Just go and sit in one. No excuses, you know, don't just order one. Go and sit on one, and then if you like it, you like it, and you can buy it. Otherwise, don't. That would be my main advice there. Do you know anything about programming? Yes. Web stuff is really my main thing. If you want to see what I'm working on now, you can actually. If you type into your web browser, essentially what happened was when I was learning, I made a website, and it's for the Portsmouth University Photography Society. And it's called www.filmandphoto.org, so filmandphoto.org, and that's the most recent one I've done, which was kind of like the learning curve one. And the thing that was quite cool about that is there was no sort of add-ons, no bootstrap, no nothing like that. It's okay. It's not actually that good, to be perfectly honest. But bearing in mind it was all done without any sort of add-ons, when I'm still quite like it. But if you type in www.filmandphoto.org/beta and then /index.html, I know it's long, but it's not really meant to be found. So www.filmandphoto.org/beta/index.html. You can find the current project that I'm working on now. It's not done, won't be done for another month, but then that's just a better version of the website that I'm working on now. So that's all web code. No Dreamweaver or anything like that. That's all code. It was made with Bootstrap and there was a template as well that has of course been heavily modified, but that's not done yet. So yeah. Do you have any tips how to get good at programming? Go to our website, MVA, Microsoft Virtual Academy. Really good. Learn code and get better at specifics. They've got pretty much everything you need there. But other than that, W3 Schools is a very good website. And I think the thing is with programming, because I'm studying that sort of stuff at university, and while it's good at university, it costs a hell of a lot of money. And the only real reason I'd say it's worth doing is only because A, you get the university experience, but then B, you've got a bit of paper that says you're good at it, which often gets you in the door at companies. And it sucks because I'm sure there are hundreds and hundreds, thousands of better programmers than I am. And I'm sure a lot of them didn't go to university and study it, but it does definitely help to have a degree. So yeah, if you're interested in programming, literally Microsoft Virtual Academy, they're all free videos, really good, go there. Yeah. Will you ever make a video? People said this about Counter-Strike Global Offensive. I guess I could do, but I don't really play it. That's the main reason. There's been a few videos that I like doing, like Battlefield 4. It's just, I really like it, and people seem to like that as well. Titanfall, things like that. But I'm always looking to branch out. So if you have any ideas, that's fine. And I can do Counter-Strike. I just have to get good first before I do it. I apologize. I won't be able to pronounce your name. Inaki? Is that how you say it? I'm really sorry if that's not right. He says, I have seen a review you did about the Philips BDM 40, the 40-inch 4K one. I would love to have a 40-inch 4K monitor, but I'm not sure if it is flicker free. Please tell me your eyes don't strain after a day of work, and I will buy it in an instant. I think I didn't have a problem with flicker, and I didn't really have a problem with it in general. The main thing is it's a 40-inch screen, and it's right in front of you. So it's not going to be the best thing for your eyes, really, is it? I mean, I didn't have any problems with it, but I didn't use it as like an office thing where I was sitting in front of it all day. Like I say, didn't have any problems with it. I'm sure there are more comfortable monitors out there. I have to say one of the most comfortable monitors to use I've used was that big LG UC97. That's the most comfortable one I've ever used. That's a really good size. This is the thing, like I said it in the review. It's a case of if you want a 40-inch monitor, it's very, very good at that. But I mean, the majority of people probably don't want that. And I don't think there was too much wrong with the monitor other than just the idea of it might not suit people. I did miss it. At the moment, I've got 3 1080p screens. Those boxes you can see out there, that's just loads of stuff. I need to start reviewing. So you should see a video of these monitors very soon. But if you want a big 40-inch screen, then go for it. And if you don't, or you're not sure, maybe it's not the best thing to invest in unless you're committed, because you'll need to commit to doing so. So thank you, Inaki, if that's how you say that. Matt, I would like to know when you started PC gaming and why you chose it. Matthew, I started PC gaming. I don't know, just always been doing it really. First few games, Populous was cracking game, wasn't it? I liked the 3D one as well at the beginning. That was very, very good. Lego Racer. That was one of my first PC games a long time ago. Lego Racer was awesome. Just a long time ago, and I chose it just because it's the most flexible platform, and yeah, that's the main reason. Cheaper games, flexible platform. Allows you to do what you want. I mean, there aren't too many other platforms there aren't many other platforms that are this flexible. And it's always something you can add to an existing computer pretty cheaply. Just add a graphics card, essentially. And then as long as your other components are fairly decent, you are away and ready to go. So that's why I chose that. So thank you, Patrick Murray. Oh, no, sorry. Thank you, Matt. Next one is Patrick Murray. What type of music do you like? Most recent CD I bought was yesterday. That was the Future Islands singles. That was very, very good CD. Artists I listen to religiously, not so much. I mean, I love a bit of the old classic soul sort of stuff. So a bit of Barry White, Marvin Gaye sort of stuff. I have a Spotify subscription, and I tend to listen to a lot of older stuff. I can share with you, actually, if you want. I can share with you the music that I have in my Spotify library. Oh no, we're going to update Spotify, so that I have to wait. Any artists I listen to religiously? Well, like I say, just I like a bit Barry White, really. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. Right, let's have a look. Songs. Here we go. Share Spotify, and then you should be able to see here all my music. Go through it. I'm not going to go through it, you know, but I've quickly scroll through it, and you should be able to see. Just it's all sort of classic, not classical, but you know, like classic sort of music that doesn't really get old. I mean, got some Frank Sinatra in there, Dusty Springfield, Al Green, Who, Rolling Stones, loads and loads and loads of stuff. I think the main thing I don't like at the moment is just what's in the charts. I think most of it's crap. That's one of my all-time favorite songs. Would love that to be my wedding song. We Have All the Time in the World, Louis Armstrong, absolute cracker. But yeah, I don't mind chart stuff occasionally. I just think I've stopped listening. If you're in the UK, this will make sense to you. But I've stopped listening to Radio 1. I think it's gone. Oh, it's pretty crap now, isn't it? It's just the same music all the time. So I listen to Radio 6 now. Radio 6 is very good. Variety of music, awesome. I'll quickly check the comment section. Are you allowed to send links? No, it doesn't work, I'm afraid. So quickly go through what I've missed. If there is any questions, I'll come back from them. I just see what's going on. So just hello everyone that's in the chat. Rosella, Tanner, Antonio. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that accent. That's bad. Generic. Hello. Eurofish. Hello. No 1080p. Is that you're talking about the stream? I think it might be done automatically, but I don't think the upload speed is that reliable here. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Next question was, if you had to choose one handy bit of tech below $50, so I'm assuming that's what, £38, what would it be? Good question. I don't know. One thing I use the most is a magnetic screwdriver. If you've never, I know this, don't say that's lame, but I mean, it's nothing fancy. This is just a normal one, but you need a Phillips crosshead one. And just essentially get yourself a screwdriver that has magnetic tips. Then you don't lose your screws, very useful. You can get, likewise, while we're on the topic of screws, you can get these little magnetic plates that will put your screws in, and then you don't lose them. That's pretty useful. Other than that, handy bit of tech under $50. Good pair of headphones is always a plus. You can get them for under $50. I don't really tend to use that much sort of handy cheap tech. Really, I tend to just and I've just seen, because I've got the my face. This video is obviously it's on a delay on that screen. And I've just seen a screwdriver pop up, and how lame must that be? Looking around, no, I don't think there's that much in the way of handy tech, really. I guess, yeah, no, I'm just going to say have a decent toolbox with all the right tools, I would say. Yeah. Sorry. So yeah, it's probably a crap answer, screwdriver, but magnetic screwdriver is very useful. So at least I did answer your question. So anyway, thank you very much, Bob. Matthew Holloway, hi PC Centric. I enjoy your videos and learned a lot from them. Can I just ask what you think of PC gaming what you think of my PC gaming desktop and possible upgrade solutions? Okay. Well, I can't go through all of it. He's got a sort of pre-built Acer Aspire T. It's got a quad-core i7 in it. AMD R7240. Well, that's the first thing you should take out and replace with something else. There's probably not an SSD in there either, is there? No. So you're going to want to add an SSD to that. You can get some stupidly cheap. Now, really, that's the first thing to add, and then add a better graphics card when you can as well. If you get something like a GTX 960 or a R9 380 or something like that, you're seeing some much better gaming performance. 240 isn't really a gaming card. Well, it's not a gaming card. So yeah, that's the way. That's the thing I would do to change that. But an SSD will upgrade your general life. Processor is fine. But yeah, graphics card for better gaming performance. First computer and its specs. I really can't remember what specs it had. I can't remember what graphics card it had. Anyway, it wasn't great. Wasn't very good at the time. I know it was a Pentium 3 processor in it. We were talking 99 here. How much RAM? How much RAM? It was probably. I know it had a 20 gigabyte hard drive. Probably had. Oh, I don't know, a tiny amount of RAM. Probably what, like 64 meg of RAM or something like that. I can't really remember. It wasn't very much. Probably, yeah, I'd say either 32 or 64 meg of RAM or something like that. Terrible. But, you know, at the time, did the job. Remember, I was very into The Sims as well when that came out. The original Sims, that was good fun. Yeah. Comment section. Are you gay? You missed it. Yeah, I'm going to have to go back in the video. I've already answered that question. Do you even lift? You used to lift, believe it or not. Don't anymore. If you haven't guessed, don't lift. Sorry, mate. Do you think HBM will save AMD? Well, let's be honest, right? Let's get it down. People talk about memory. It's irrelevant what memory a graphics card has, in the sense that if the performance is crap, people don't care what memory it's got. You know, PlayStation 4 might have really good games on it. If you don't have a PlayStation 4, that's terrible. Example. Point is, as long as the whole package is good and the whole graphics card works, they're going to sell. But just saying, you know, essentially HBM, I don't think it's going to sell a graphics card to most people. So I don't think AMD needs saving. I think they've got, you know, they can quite capable of sorting themselves out, and HBM might do it for them. But I don't really think. That people need to worry about that. Another question: are you gay? Already answered that, mate. Already there. Why you wouldn't? No, I'm not saying that. What do you think of 60 gig SSDs? Irrelevant in this day and age. Nothing wrong if you've got one, but there's no reason for anyone to buy one. Boom. Game from E3. Probably Star Wars Battlefront, because I love Battlefield 4, and it'll be good to actually see how that all works out. Have it be good. Probably should go back to the other questions. What was your done that one? Thoughts on the Alienware Alpha? Same as just Alienware, really. I mean, it's nice that it's small and it's going to suit some people, but for most people, you know, you have the room under your desk for a PC, so just go and buy one, or, you know, build one yourself. Not really, unless you. I mean, I've got a smaller case than I used to, and I don't regret it. I'm glad I did it, but the next one isn't going to be a small case, just because it's unless you really need it to be small, which I kind of did. I kind of did just for transport, but unless you need it to be small, there's no reason to get a small PC, because it kind of causes more problems in the long run. Hi, that was Shannon Morris. Then we've got Oliver Bailey. Hi, I'd like to ask you what you think about Windows 10 and if it will affect gaming like Windows 8 or 8.1. Well, it will, in the sense that DirectX 12 is, of course, all about Windows 10. Gears of War is the first game that comes to mind, the remake Ultimate Edition, that will use DirectX 12. And I think it's got the potential to really increase people's frame rate. So that's really the most important thing, to be honest. It allows more draw calls and things like that as well. But if people are going to get better performance, then it's really going to take off. So thank you, Oliver Bailey. It will definitely make a difference to gaming, more so than 8.1 did. Because, of course, 8.1 only brought 8 and 8.1 only brought 11. DirectX 11.2, was it? Or 11.1? I think it was 11.2. It doesn't, irrelevant anyway. And then, did I start going the wrong way? How did I? I think I somehow managed to cock this one up. Okay, well, there. We're on Jesper now. Jesper says, where can I buy Grand Theft Auto 1 and 2 to play on Steam? Well, if you can't buy that from Steam, I'm not sure. And if I was to answer that, I would just be looking it up. So you might as well do that yourself, I'm afraid. Tanner, I know you are in the comment section as well, but your question, you got 2 here. I did say, didn't I, you're allowed 2. What components would you recommend for 1080p 60 ultra settings? GTX 980, 980, sorry, GTX 960, GTX 970, depending on how you want to organize your components. Or of course you could go down the AMD route, really. I mean, I don't think, as long as you don't go with anything less than a 960, 1080p isn't going to be a problem. But I'm very careful when I say this will be able to run stuff at max settings, because it completely depends on the game. And as I'm sure most of you know, some games really don't require much horsepower, like Dota and League of Legends. Some things like Crisis 3 really does. Witcher 3 really does. So it's going to depend completely on the game. Just the main thing is just allocate as much as your budget to the graphics card as you can. Really, you know, I've said this before many times, but the main things you want to do are mainly spend on a graphics card while getting a CPU that can support that, while getting a power supply unit that can support 2 of those cards, so you don't need to worry about that later, and then an SSD and at least 8 gigabytes of RAM, and you're cracking, really. Yeah, no, I like choosing parts. It's good fun, really. So that answers that question, I think. Where do you think one should start? Well, I actually just said that. How about that? How about that? Just answered your question without even looking at it. Feel free to extend that question if I didn't answer it properly in the comment section. How long we got? Where are we doing? Right, we've got about another 10 to 15 minutes of this AMA. So this is your time to get your questions in to the chat window now, and they will be answered while I quickly run through the YouTube comments from that video. Elder Scrolls or Fallout? Fallout 4, but otherwise Elder Scrolls. I do like a bit of Elder Scrolls. Not as much. Do you use emulators? No, not really. Anyway, just not for any real reason. Just don't. 390 or 970. To be honest, I'd probably go 390, but I'd want to, if I was going to buy it, I'd want to carefully look at the specs of each a bit more closely. If I buy a second SSD, and these are all from Eurofish, by the way, trying to go through them quick. If I buy a second SSD and put it in my machine, can I install Windows 8 to that and still be able to have my? I think you mean. Oh, sorry, that's disgusting. Can I install Windows 10 to that and still be able to have 8 as my main OS? I think that's what he means to say. Yeah, I mean, I think the thing is that you're going to be, Windows 10 is going to want you to upgrade. So I'm not sure if you're going to have to upgrade or whether you're going to be able to do a clean install. We're not 100% yet. We know you will be able to, but you might have to upgrade your system first and then get the disk image from them. Not entirely sure, but otherwise, yes. If you install them separately and you don't upgrade, then that should be fine. But if you want to upgrade, you'll probably want to clone your drive, then upgrade using some software. So thank you for that. Could someone help me if I don't to get a Acer Predator? It's a PC. It's not a very well constructed question. Sorry, mate. Does anyone know if it could run DayZ? I'm not that familiar with that, so I'd have to go and look it up. So I'm sorry, but you might as well do that yourself. Sorry, but running low on time. Apologize. Moving up questions. I'm thinking of developing phone apps, mostly games. What would be the best type of phone to develop on? iPhone, Android, or Windows? Easy answer is Android, just because you don't need to own a Mac to be able to do it. It's most widely supported, and there are a hell of a lot of devices. Windows 10 is going to be quite interesting because you can develop using Visual Studio and XAML to sort of target different devices. They all have the same core, so it's a lot easier to kind of make apps that will work on desktop and on mobile. But yeah, and really, to be honest, Android, then iPhone. If you've got a Mac, then Windows Phone. I'd like it to be different order, but that is just the way it is at the moment. I'm thinking of moving from iPhone to Android. What would you recommend this? Yes, I would. The iPhones are better. iPhones are like the consoles because they're really well optimized, whereas Android is like PC because it's in theory better, but it depends on the optimization. I really like my Galaxy Note 4, really do. Got on well with the LG G4. You can see that review. This is a big phone, but really like it. It's just have a go in the shop and, you know, kind of work it out for yourself. I really like Android. I have no desire to go to iPhone, but if you're so used to iPhone, you might not agree. Oh yeah, then there was a comment, wasn't there? Someone was like, "Do you make more money than PewDiePie?" Well, obviously not. If you want to know how much money I make, I haven't really said before. You want to know how much money I make each month? It's just about £140 a month. So hardly rolling in it. £140. So yeah, if you wanna start YouTube for the money, then and you want to put at least 2 years of solid work into it, and then you're going to get about £140 a month. And granted, obviously, hopefully it'll soon increase, but it's not exactly that much money. And trust me, as you'll see from a behind-the-scenes video that will come out in the next couple of weeks, it's not something to do for the money. It's something to do because you like doing it. And the best thing I like about it is that I get to try out all this cool tech, and then share my opinions with everyone. And then when people say thank you for that, that was helpful, then that's when it really means a lot to me. But you can ask any YouTuber that. So yeah, not much money. And bearing in mind, I spend about 5 hours a week doing YouTube stuff. That works out at about £9 an hour. So like I say, not much money. But yeah, no, I like doing it. So yeah, there you go, £140 roughly each month. You know, can be more, can be less. So yeah. I forgot where I was anyway. Why does AMD have more cores? Oh yeah, so while I'm here, I guess one thing I would appreciate you to do then, I suppose, is if you have an ad blocker installed, you can add my YouTube channel to the whitelist, and then you might have to watch a 20-second advert, but then obviously it will help me out. So if you have an ad block installed and you don't want to uninstall it, you can add me to the whitelist, which is something you should do to all your favorite YouTubers, because then you're their benefit, if you like. Because obviously if you just watch a video, you know, I don't really mind that much, but if you just watch a video with ad blockers on, then they literally get nothing at all for their time and effort. Why does AMD have more cores and higher gigahertz, but Intel is more powerful? Well, it's a very, very long sort of answer if I gave you all the details, but essentially it's not just a numbers game. Obviously if it was, then they would you know, destroy it. You can do more calculations per second. That's all about the clock speed, but there's so many different factors in there as well. And it's pretty obvious that Intel has better performance per core. And it's just because processors, it's not just solely a numbers game. I mean, if you look at the upcoming Intel Skylake processor, the numbers aren't really that different. Clock speeds and things are the same. But yeah, the performance is going to be about 20 to 30% higher, bearing in mind the clock speed is the same. So it's just, while clock speed is useful and it does directly translate into performance, there's a load of other factors as well, basically. Next question. I'm going about this badly here. Start at the top. Are you religious? Not really, no. I believe there's probably more to death than just nothing, but it's not something that particularly bothers me, and it's not something I really think about. But I'm very interested in like religion and culture and stuff like that. Probably because I am a photographer, so obviously I'm really interested in people. But yeah, no, I'm not particularly religious. No. Yeah, I do. You know, I do have some work for different societies around the university. So, actually done quite a lot for the Islamic Society. It's just great to meet a load of different people. So, no, not religious. Christian society as well. Actually, they're all pretty nice. Most people are nice. Generally, like if people talk to you, just doesn't matter what religion they're from, they're normally quite nice. First game ever played might well be the original Tomb Raider. That was a cracking game. I used to play that with my dad. I've said this story before, but it's cool. It's probably not cool actually. For good luck, we used to get a sheet of paper, roll it up, get a highlighter or something, paint or something, and then kind of paint it like sort of like a mustardy yellow. and then put like a red cross on it, and then that was the Medipack. That was a small Medipack, and put it on the PlayStation for good luck. It's quite funny. Yeah. Well, yeah. That was me and my dad. So, love you, Dad. I don't think I've ever said that sentence. Yeah. Do you play DayZ? No. All my friends rave about it, but don't really play it. Don't have time. Don't play too many games. SLI GTX 970 or single 980 Ti and Y? Easy question. 980 Ti. A, more VRAM. B, more sustainable. C, better support. You don't have to rely on SLI. And then probably it's going to be quieter as well. It does depend on your situation. I've had it where I've had 2 cards in a big case and the overall noise was less. Then I've had 2 cards in a small case and the overall noise was a lot louder. So, yeah, and then of course you can always add another 980 Ti later when when the GTX 1000 series or whatever it is comes out. That was when there was a more stupid question about money and PewDiePie. What phone do you have? I answered that. That was a Samsung Galaxy Note 4. First graphics card. I said I actually couldn't remember what that was. I know it was bad. I can't even remember what it was. I'm really sorry. But it was a Pentium 3 based processor with a 20 gig hard drive and about 64 meg of RAM. Garlic or chili with kebabs. Don't really tend to eat kebabs that often, to be honest. But I'd probably just have both, to be honest. The meal I did before I came here and I'm stuffed was a nice curry I made. I'm big into my cooking. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that. So, yeah, that's what my Instagram is really. It's techie stuff and food. How old are you? I am actually 21 as of next week. Are you going to get a second 980? Yes. The main thing I'm waiting on at the moment is I'd rather just get another reference one so it looks the same. But I'm going away on holiday for a couple of weeks, so I'll probably just wait till I get back. But I just forked out just $1,000 on some speakers, so don't have any money. No. Finley McKay is looking forward to entering university. Yeah, I liked this actually. It was very well constructed sentence. Looking forward to entering university myself. Do you believe that computer science degree will lead to a prosperous career pathway? Well, I actually already answered that this video right at the beginning. Essentially, long story short, you don't need a computer science degree to gain the knowledge. You can do it very easily using online tools. But the bit of paper that says I can do computing is actually incredibly useful and will get you a lot of places. And the university experience is good. So yes, I think it's worth doing. But if you just want to do the programming, there's probably better ways of learning it without spending a lot of money. How long have you been a PC gamer? New question. Forever, really. First PC, answered that. And then I think those are quite a lot of replies. Have you ever played Counter-Strike? Could you do a casual play? I've said if you guys want that, I can do that. I've got the game. I just don't really tend to play it. And then I think we are just about done. Last one was from Daniel Hawks. What are your thoughts on an EVGA 780 classified? Well, if you're looking to buy one, well, you're a bit out of date. The classified series is all about better performance, but you obviously pay for it. At the moment, I've said it at the start, I'll say it again. If you're looking after the NVIDIA side, 970 or the 980 Ti are probably your go-to cards. With the AMD series, they're kind of almost priced like slightly better, but again, you're probably still looking at maybe a 280, 280X. 280, 380, 380X. I don't know so much. I'm not quite so up to date with my pricing actually on the AMD cards. That's bad, isn't it? And then that was all those questions. So finally, we'll go through the comments section. So if you have any questions, get them in now. How far do we have to go back? It's quite a lot. Should I get the 1 + 1 or wait for the 1 + 2? Wait for the 1 + 2. I'm strapped for cash. Easy decision. Wait for the 1 + 2. Palais was the best part of EA's conference. Yes, it definitely was. What smartphone would you like to have the most? The one I've got now. Really wouldn't want any other phone. Samsung Galaxy Note 4. Love it. Looking forward to the Galaxy Note 5. Genuinely not another phone I'd rather have. Do you think I should upgrade to Windows 10? I will let you know as soon as I've done it on the day it comes out, so you won't have to rush out and upgrade and find it's crap, or you might find it's very good. Why are you so sexy? Just because I am, mate. Sorry, mate. Unlucky. That's just the way it is, isn't it? From Hyper. Hi, mate. I have a 370K and a HD 7770. Wondering if it's still okay to be playing next-gen games on this setup. Can't afford to. Well, the easy thing there is if it doesn't really matter, because if you buy a game and you can't play it, then you can just buy a component there and then. There's no point upgrading if you don't have the money. There's no point, gimping yourself a little bit for it. Obviously, the 7770 is getting on a little bit now. It's not as new as it once was. But I think you're probably more inclined to answer the question than that, really. I mean, games are only going to get more intensive, but if you can sort of play the games you want to play now, in the next year or so, it's not going to change that much. I mean, the main thing really you're looking at is DirectX 12 compatibilities, to which there will be limited support on that card. I don't know if that's Halo. I always do that. I go but I don't know if that's Halo because it goes I don't know. I don't know how long I've done that. Could be longer. What would you compare R7 250 in GTX? Well, you'd be looking at the GT without the X, because it's not really a gaming series card. You're basically looking at is there a 9? If there was one, you'd be looking at a 940. I'm thinking there's a 940, like the 40 anyway series. You might be looking at 740 or the 840. I'm just making stuff up here, aren't I? No, I'm not making up. Yeah, like 250. That sort of, if you can help it, that sort of price range, you're looking at spending more if you want to be doing some serious gaming. Is a 4K monitor worth it? There's a video I've done called "Is a 4K monitor worth it?" So you're better off looking there. But essentially, if you've got one good IPS one, then probably. If you're after maybe a TN one just for gaming, maybe not. It's tricky because you need to spend a lot of money to get a good one, and then you need a lot of money to actually run these games at that resolution. So it's very pricey for what it is. Eurofish. Oh, you're only allowed 2 questions. Well, yeah, but yours were quick, so I'll allow it. Same question again. Should I upgrade to 4K or 1440p from 1080p? If you want 140 Hz, 1440p. Otherwise, go for 4K. That's a pretty simple question. Dark Souls 3, looking forward to it. NVIDIA AMD, that's never a question you can answer. Depends if you want G-Sync or FreeSync at this time. So it might be actually worth going down the AMD route to get a cheaper monitor. Do you get... I like that. Do you get the girls? And if no, well, what are you saying? If no, well, what are you trying to say? If no, when was your last girlfriend? Already answered that one at the start of the video. Essentially saying that at the moment, nothing serious. There's a few things going on, but no, I don't have a girlfriend, so to speak. But yeah, no, this is fine. It's fine. Is a GTX 760 worth it? Well, if not at the moment now, you're better off going for a newer one. Can you downgrade from 10 to 7 without losing files? Actually, I believe you can. I believe there was something, a news article I read, that you can revert it, but I'm not 100% sure. So you'd be better off looking at a proper article dedicated to that than listening to me. Sorry, because I don't have the information in front of me. What do you think of Dark Souls 3? Well, you played Dark Souls 3? Yes, definitely. What do you think of Microsoft HoloLens? I haven't, without using it, it's difficult to say, but I reckon it'll be like the Kinect, where the first series is a little bit gimmicky, but it does look very, very cool. And it's definitely good to see that we've got that sort of stuff available. Should you start with less important parts like the power supply, storage, or RAM that won't be updated necessarily soon, or buy something like the CPU/GPU while you are worrying about future-proofing? I'll tell you what I will do. And I will actually take my headphones off by accident. I'll draw you a little flowchart. How about that? We go into Paint. There you go. Look, nice little flowchart. Okay. And this is how I would say to do your PC. Okay, so this budget. So we've got start with your GPU. Okay, that's the big one. So that's big flashy woo component. Okay, then you need, once you've decided on that, find a decent CPU that will not bottleneck it. So slightly lesser circle. Okay. So something like an i5 is going to be good for that. Then you want to make sure your power supply, so your PSU, can support both of those. Ideally, you want it to support two of those, so you can have it in SLI. And then if you do decide to do that, then that's when you start looking at your motherboard. Okay, Mobo. So if you want two graphics cards, you need one that supports that. So Crossfire, Xfire, or SLI. If you don't want that, then obviously your PSU can be smaller and your motherboard can be cheaper. This is just the way I would go about getting a PC anyway. And then stuff you always want are an SSD without fail. If you need more, that's when you get an HDD. So only if you need one. No. That's not related. I don't know. I did that. I'm going to get rid of that. You don't need that. You just need that. And then Windows is another thing. So we just say Windows 10 for now. I know it's wrong. Leave it. And then you need at least 8 GB of RAM. And then if you've got some spare money, then you can get a better cooler. Just leave that. No, I can put that in. Cooler. Bit too much. I can't. Is there not? There's not a slight. Well, they have to do. So that really crude looking thing is how to buy a computer. Drawn live. It's true though. So we'll go through it again. So most of your budget goes on your GPU. Let's say you want to get 60 FPS at 1440p. Then you can do that. Just find one that will properly support that. So GPU here, let's say you wanted the GTX 970. Then you'd be like, well, I want my CPU not to bottleneck and I want that to maybe support SLI. So what you do, you go, right, well, I want an i5. But no, actually, I'm doing some video editing, so I want an i7. So now you've got two components sorted. Now we're looking at your PSU. Do you want to support Crossfire SLI? Yes. So we get double the wattage that we'd need just for a single GPU. And then we need to get a motherboard that supports Crossfire and SLI. Then we need an SSD, copy of Windows, and we need RAM. And then maybe you do some pictures as well, some video editing or something. So you get the additional hard drive, and there's a bit of spare money. Spend that on a cooler. That's the way I would go about it anyway. Obviously, there's a lot more thinking to do about it, but essentially that's how I would go about buying a PC for me. So I hope that actually was useful rather than just a crude, horrible drawing. Back to the comments anyway. So yeah, that did that. Is your voice naturally amazing? Hopefully, yeah. Did you do a computer science degree? I've done 2 years in a placement year at the moment. So yeah. And oh god, we are quite far back, aren't we? Irrelevant question. Olimium. Irrelevant. Don't have one, mate. Don't have one. Are you a graduate still in school? Just answered that. Rent and bills these days, at least £800 a month. No, mine doesn't cost that much. I pay how much? I don't know, maybe you get after everything. Well, yeah, no, I guess actually it probably is after food. It probably is not that far off that. Thank you for that, Matthew. But and I've answered. Don't play Counter-Strike, but can if you want. Going to turn off ad block. Thank you. That would help. Is the GTX 970 good? Answered that. Stupid questions. Retard. Lol. What are your thoughts on? I've said that. Corey, are you into men? We've had that question several times, mate. Again, answered that. And then there's some sort of debate going on down there. Okay. Are you still using that 40-inch 4K monitor? No. If I try obviously to be as clear as possible, but majority of time stuff is sent in for review. So those boxes up there will be there for a bit and then they go back. So people send me stuff for review and then I review it. Obviously, it's nice for everyone if I've actually bought something, but that's obviously just not doable. You can't buy everything. So yeah, I get stuff sent to me. AOC and Philips have both been really good actually and supportive of the channel. So you ask for something, they send it to you for a couple of weeks and then it goes back and you do a full review. Everyone's happy. Where do you see yourself in 10 years time? Hopefully still here, hopefully still doing this, hopefully doing it full time. And that kind of ruined it. So many questions, fine. I'm scrolling up because I lost where I was. Oh, it's way too many. This is bad. I'm stupid. Right. Okay, I'm at the right place I was. Sorry about that. Quickly scroll through because I'm running 15 minutes over time now, so I have to very quickly go through. Because a lot of them aren't even questions as well. Obviously, you're talking to each other. Alienware Alpha already said that it's gonna, if you need it to be really small, then great, but otherwise it's just not really that practical. Where did you want to be when I grew up as a child? No idea. Didn't really think about it, to be honest. Loads of different things. Literally, like nothing really. Didn't really start thinking about that sort of stuff, unfortunately. Did you Amazon Prime? No, actually. Well, I got some champagne glasses because I'm cool for £5. That was it. I was a bit disappointed, really. If the Galaxy Note 5 loses its expandability, then it's lost all respect from me, and I will not be getting one. Well, I might review one, but won't buy one. Are any of the Skylake processors going to be better core-to-core than Haswell E? You'd think so. Someone's mugging me off and not answering their question. Well, I thought I did. It wasn't deliberate. I'm very sorry. No need for language, mate. Would you like me to go back and find it? Is that what you'd like? We don't have time. Well, I might have time. Will installing Windows 10 delete any data like programs? Well, mine didn't really update when I went from 7 to 8. So I'd always recommend doing a clean install if you can. What keyboard am I using? CM Storm Quickfire TK. I like it very much. We are running low on time. I'm really running low on time. Where were we? I've lost it again. I'm so sorry. Download link for wallpaper. What wallpaper is that? Do you have a degree in art? No. Sorry, Al, not answering that question. It's not for here, mate. Not for here. Not for here. It's for mates when you've had a few drinks, and then you talk about your experiences. But it's not for here, mate. I'm sorry. So I will ignore that question. You can use your imagination if you want. You forgot the case. Well, case-wise, that's kind of something that's always. I don't like to really recommend cases too much because a lot of it is on the visuals. The main considerations really is this, that you're getting the right motherboard. You're getting one that fits in your case, really, or vice versa. Not too much to think about, really. I'm not someone that really cares too much about stuff like noise and things like that. So yeah, kind of did forget the case a little bit, but not majorly. Okay, getting the case, keyboard, and mouse for my birthday. What should I worry about next? I don't know. I don't have time to think about it. Ask me on Twitter when I can. I'm under pressure here. Any advice to someone new to PCs and wanting to build within the next 6 to 8 months? Yes. Just make sure you buy one that save up enough money to buy one you're not going to be disappointed in. Take your time when you build it. You will make mistakes, but the main thing is just that you do it carefully, so those mistakes aren't major. I think it's quite rare for people to like break stuff. It's not that difficult to get wrong, but it's quite difficult to get majorly wrong, I'd say. So that's that, and then the comments have kind of scrolled up again. Oh, for goodness sake! Stupid. Right. Okay. Gonna have to wrap this up. Were you nervous making your first PC build? Very much so. Quite a funny mistake I made when I was building my first PC was it had quick releases on the DVD drive in the case. So there was quick release, you turn it, pull all this thing out, and then the thing comes out. And it took me half an hour to realize that there were two, one either side of the case, so one at the back, one at the front. So I was trying to get this thing in, and it wouldn't go in because there was a clip on the other side that I needed to take out. So stuff like that, you just don't think about it. But other than that, no, it was fine. The other thing I didn't really like about when I built my first PC was the noise it makes when you brought the lever down on the CPU. Then when it locks into place, that made it almost like it was not loud or anything, but almost like a cracking noise. No, don't be like, oh, you did it wrong. No, this was fine. But yeah, I was a bit nervous. Yeah, I was nervous. It's your first PC build. Yeah, of course, yeah. All-time favorite game, big fan of the original Tomb Raider, big fan of Populous at the beginning. Far Cry 2 was very good, loads and loads. Owl's Cracking Up, good one. Best old console, PlayStation 2 is the classic, I guess. The Philips 40-inch 4K was one of the best out there. Do you think this will be a replacement? If there was, I really want a curved one, because that was one of the things I didn't like about it. Was the corners seemed quite far away. But if it was curved, then I find it would be more comfortable. And it might sound like, no, he's just been, but no one needs a curve. Trust me, monitors, big monitors, it really, really friggin' helps. Hashtag not for here. How old are you? 21. 21 next week. And the chat is gone a little bit as well. Right, here we go. So that was it. Thank you anyway. That should be all the questions. Boom. Would you like to see Destiny on the PC? I think I would, because I do like Destiny. It was just there wasn't actually too much there. It's quite playable, but there wasn't too much there. Yeah. Okay. That is everything. So thank you so much for tuning in anyway. Even though we last an hour, wasn't meant to go on that long. I hope answered everything you wanted answered. If I didn't, then at PC Centric on Twitter is the best place to do that. Instagram, you can find me. What's my username? What is my username? I don't even know. I need more followers on Instagram. So come on Instagram. So I mainly post tech and food. Marcustador. That's my name. There. See that? Is that going to work? Yeah. That's a stupid name, I know, I'm sorry. But yeah, you can find their stuff there. So yeah, ask me anything on Twitter, or that's the best place. Comments. Thank you so much for tuning in. Obviously, really appreciate it. And yeah, hopefully we can keep doing this. We can do another one in about a year or so. There's a behind the scenes, so you actually get to see how like a YouTube video gets made. And I think hopefully that should be quite interesting for you, because obviously the process applies to everyone that makes a video on YouTube, not just me. So you see the full process from the design of a video, the filming of a video, the planning, the setting up of video, the editing, and then seeing what it's like when one actually goes live, and then you start seeing the comments and stuff come in. So hopefully that should be quite interesting for you. Thank you so much for watching this video, though. Really appreciate it. And until the next one, thank you so much for sticking with the channel, and I will see you next time.